Thank you, Avantika. I know you guys are excited, but we are also late getting. His Holiness Bhakti Raghava Swami Maharaj ki. Bolo big Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. So we'd like to extend our deepest thanks to Maharaj because he always comes in his annual jatra to Bay Area. At least a couple of days he spends here giving his transcendental associations to all of us. So Maharaj is a direct disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And very interesting things has happened to Maharaj and how his preaching movement, he used to be in West Bengal in Mayapur and instrumental in the Namahada and Bhaktivedanta youth services in earlier days. And then by Krishna's will also he was out of India for 14 years, just like Lord Ramachandra's Banavas. And he has, not only that time, he has developed in many places in Indonesia and Cambodia and other places. That was Krishna's plan to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. And right now, Maharaj is serving as a minister in ISKCON Daiva Varnashrama. And he's also instrumental in the Suri cow project and many other things. And he's based in South India. And he travels all over the world, especially he's from Montreal area, in Canada. And he is giving his association today. So one more time, big Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Mridanga. Whoever's playing the Mridanga should come up a little closer. Yeah, Mridanga should be close. It's like a Kirtan group. Cartel already? Yeah, that's good. Yes, very good. Okay. We have a clock. Oh, that's the clock back there, right? Okay, nice big clock. That's very good. Sometimes you cannot see the clock. Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Jamuna Tira Vanam Chari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Hare Hare Bolo Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Gaura Pimanande Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivraj Gacharya Stotra Satta Sri Simad His Divine Grace Shrabai Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Charya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gradhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhana Ki Sri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Sri Dwarka Dham Ki Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Sri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Sri Mayapur Chandraday Mandir Ki Gangamai Jamunamai Ki Tulsi Vibhakti Revi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Shri Sri Gaurnitai Ki Jai Shri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Sri Radha Madana Mohan ki, Jai Nitai Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhuttale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone may kindly fold their hands in this way and repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So we are very happy to once again get an opportunity to visit here in San Jose and meet some of the devotees we met last time. We have a special theme that we will be discussing and sharing with all of you this evening. It's kind of an ongoing theme that especially those of us who are connected with this ministry, a little bit of background information possibly for those who may not be so familiar. You know, so many things are happening in ISKCON. Which is very nice. That's the way it's meant to be as well. Just like here, in the last few years, some very wonderful developments taking place. And Krishna consciousness, as Srila Prabhupada has explained, is meant to be, expanding all the time, more and more new and newer things, different activities, projects, different levels of understanding, different realizations that individually we can pray to gradually have as Krishna bestows His mercy. Yeyetam mam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajami aham. As one surrenders unto me, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, I reciprocate, isn't it? Accordingly, according to our surrender to Krishna, then Krishna is very, very eager actually to reciprocate with us. Krishna, who is seated within our heart, the nice example is given in our Shastra, the two birds, isn't it? Two birds sitting on the tree. So as long as we are not noticing the other bird, we are preoccupied in our material activities. But when we become devotees, then we come to know that we're not alone, isn't it? And we start to turn our attention gradually to the super soul within the heart. So that super soul is Krishna, directly Krishna, expansion of Krishna. And super soul is actually very anxious to help us to understand more about Krishna, to help us advance in Krishna consciousness. That is actually Krishna's mercy upon all of us, that He is constantly with us. He is our Suridam Sarvabhutanam, isn't it? Bhoktaram Jagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatvamam Shantim Richati. One can learn to become happy and peaceful by taking shelter of and guidance from the super soul within the heart, that is the internal manifestation of the Lord, and then also by taking shelter and guidance from the external manifestation of the Lord, that means Guru and Vaishnavas. So in this way we have, by Krishna's mercy, a perfect arrangement whereby we can constantly, actually we have no excuse not to be Krishna conscious. So many wonderful ways that Krishna. The topic this evening is dealing with an area maybe less known to many of our devotees, and Krishna consciousness is very vast as a concept, as a philosophy. So just to give a little bit of background, as I was beginning to mention a few minutes ago, in India we have a ministry called ISKCON Daiva Varnasram Ministry, for short IDVM. And that's been there since 2009 actually. So our ministry aims primarily at bringing awareness to our general devotees and to people in general as well about the importance of the traditional, simple lifestyle upon which our Vedic culture is based. That basic original lifestyle is very closely connected, especially with land and cows, and of course Krishna. So one of the courses we give in South India, we've been having Varnashram College every year in the month of January, and that is the title of our course, actually. Land, Cows, and Krishna. Vedic culture is very intimately, actually is based on this concept that goal of life is to become self-realized, to develop Krishna consciousness, isn't it? So Krishna element is there. In order for that to happen, then there has to be a culture, there has to be a lifestyle that favors that consciousness, the development of that consciousness. And that is actually called the Varnashrama lifestyle. That is called Sanatan Dharma also. Sanatan Dharma. The natural and simple, but yet very scientific activities as ordained and as organized by Krishna himself, isn't it? Dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma is not man-made or man-invented, isn't it? Dharma comes directly from Krishna. So, therefore, Dharma, because it comes from Krishna, is eternal. That's actually a very wonderful thing. So many wonderful things, actually, in our Krishna conscious understanding, that we have within our culture, our Krishna conscious culture, our Sanatan culture, our Varnashrama culture. We have perfect systems that Krishna has created. Once we become familiar with these systems, once we master the principles, understand the principles thoroughly based on these perfect systems given by Krishna, then life will become very nice, very smooth. And we simply have to continue following and applying these systems, and then our life, even in this material world, normally for most people in the material world, except for devotees, for most people in the material world, life is miserable. Maybe you've noticed a little bit. Isn't it? Before we come to Krishna consciousness, and if we look at the lives of people who don't have Krishna consciousness, life is very difficult. Life is very miserable. It's miserable. People are not happy. People cannot be happy. So we as devotees have that great advantage, that great privilege of actually learning the science to be happy even in the miserable world. Because the material world, by definition, is dukkhalayam sasvatam. But a devotee, by the knowledge that he cultivates and by the activities that he performs every day, he can learn, isn't it? He can learn to transcend the miseries of the material world. As a matter of fact, bhakti, devotional service, the outcome of such bhakti, of such activity, is that it brings one, it brings us above both the three modes of material nature, and it brings us above the threefold miseries of life. So our ministry in India is especially concentrating on an area which, again, as I mentioned, may be less known or less practiced. And here I need to maybe introduce briefly short explanation regarding dharma. Because generally dharma we understand as, it's like the Yuga Dharma. What is the Yuga Dharma? Chanting Hare Krishna, isn't it? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, as the Yuga avatar, introduced the Yuga Dharma. Which is, the basis of that, of course, is chanting the holy name, Harinam Sankirtan. But dharma is not only meant to be a spiritual activity. Dharma is a concept and a principle and a lifestyle that is meant to address, because we are here in the material world, that is meant to address our spiritual needs as well as our material needs. So therefore, as devotees, we might have read, but I think generally we have less of a clear understanding of what is referred to as swadharma. Who knows what is swadharma? Raise your hands. Who knows what is dharma? Raise your hand. Prabhus, Matajis. Who knows about Hare Krishna here? So everyone knows about Dharma, right? Somebody, anyone here? But Swadharma is actually existing on two levels. Spiritual Swadharma and material Swadharma. The definition of spiritual Swadharma means those activities that are directly related to the spirit soul. So in the spiritual world, people only know about spiritual Swadharma because they don't have material body, right? Nothing material in the spiritual world. So Swadharma in the spiritual world means fully, completely absorbed in bhakti, devotional activities to Krishna, in different rasas, different relationship. But here in the material world, although we are a spirit soul and we need to address the spiritual Swadharma, we also, they say touch wood, we have this material element. We are having to deal with the material energy. We have this material body. And therefore, Krishna has arranged that there is a specific way by which we can utilize this body, we can utilize this material energy to live in such a way that even materially our lives can help us to fulfill actually the spiritual Swadharma. So in other words, spiritual Swadharma means bhakti, devotional service to Krishna, and is meant for the soul. Whereas material Swadharma, so our theme this evening is going to touch largely on the material Swadharma, because we generally, devotees are sometimes too transcendental. Can you believe? One of our sannyasis some years back made the following comment, a remark, that, devotees are a special species, So he was telling that devotees are sometimes so busy being spiritual that they forget to be human, They forget how to relate with one another, They're too transcendental. So of course, most people in the material world don't even know about transcendence, about the spiritual transcendental level or reality of life. And that we only can begin to understand by the very basic and fundamental instruction given to us by Srila Prabhupada. You are not this body. We're different from this body. So, our ministry, coming back to India, is because of the focus that we have. The wonderful thing, of course, is that although Krishna speaks about and addresses and has arranged for us to deal with the material Swadharma, he has made it in such a way that this material Swadharma, when taken up as Krishna wants us to take it up, because it's going to be in connection with Krishna, that material Swadharma becomes spiritual also. And therefore, all of the activities on the so-called material platform become, to use one of Srila Prabhupada's nice expression, becomes Krishnized, isn't it? Spiritualized, Krishnized, means becomes bhakti. Becomes bhakti. So that means that devotees, even though we are here in the material world, our life, when we follow our spiritual Swadharma and when we follow our material Swadharma, then our life becomes perfect, happy, like that. So, we are soon to enter, actually within a few weeks. So we're talking about something that's about to happen very soon. So you should all listen very carefully. Oh, Maharaj is going to talk about something that's going to happen very soon. We will be ending this month of December. in a few days, right? What's the date today? 14th. Yeah, the days go so fast. So 14th, and this month has 30 days. 31? 31 days. Ah, okay. Just checking to see. He's on the ball. So we have only how many days left this month? Oh, maybe not everyone is strong in mathematics. So it's 17. 17 and 14? 31, yes. So our ISKCON society is about to enter a new phase. Our ISKCON society is about to make history. Of course, we're making history every day, you know. Just look on dandabats.com, all kinds of activities taking place. And in each of our temples also, just like you have nice Murti Srila Prabhupada. So it's something that we should be doing. But ISKCON as a society is going to enter a new phase. What is that new phase? We will begin, and all of us have an opportunity also. That's the wonderful thing about it. We can all become part of this. We can all be part of history in the making. What is that history in the making? Beginning January the 1st, 2015. Mark it in your calendar. Year 2015 marks the beginning of 12 years of golden jubilees for ISKCON. Haribo! Who would like to celebrate golden jubilees? Haribo! Yeah, everybody, of course, you know. So 2015 is important because it will be 50 years ago, in 1965, that Srila Prabhupada came to America, isn't it? And began chanting the holy name. So although it was the following year, 1966, that Srila Prabhupada incorporated ISKCON legally. So therefore, within our ISKCON society, we're especially concentrating on what we call the 50th anniversary of ISKCON, which will be 2016. But it begins 2015. So our ministry has taken a decision to actually go on a 12-year marathon and campaign to promote something most important, and I'm slowly coming to the theme. I haven't started yet. Just warming you up, keeping you a little bit in suspense. That poster is... no, there was another one, you know? You have it? Where is it? Yes. He's keeping us in suspense. He's keeping me in suspense. Just show it to me first. Show it to me first. Sravanam. No, that. Oh, let me see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you can make it. No, it's actually the same. You know, our philosophy is Achinta Beta Beta Tattva, right? So this poster is Achinta Beta Beta Tattva. It's the same poster, but it has, for global auspiciousness, adopt our Universal Mother. The theme, actually, we're going on a campaign to bring awareness of the importance of Mother Cow. Because, yeah, it's basically the same, but that one should be there if it's possible, or, well, it'll be a distraction. But anyways, devotees, main thing is that we are in a, you know, yeah, that's fine, that's good. We means the whole world. Every single country in the world is in great difficulties at present, in great difficulty economically. You know, we have a global economic crisis that's been there for a number of years and not improving. we have political crisis, we have educational crisis, we have social crisis, we have ecological crisis, and the list goes on and on and on. Why? The basic cause and problem is that we have forgotten some of the most fundamental principles and concepts that are the foundation of our Vedic culture. And that very foundation of our Vedic culture actually begins with our connection or disconnection with the land and the cows. You see? So this is a very major theme, and it's especially of major importance for our devotees within ISKCON society because, you know, Srila Prabhupada has given us a legacy to carry on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to carry on the teachings of Krishna. They're the same actually, isn't it? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami juge juge. Dharma samstapanarthaya. To re-establish the principles of dharma. But unless we know what is dharma, isn't it? Unless we thoroughly understand the spiritual swadharma on the one side and then the material swadharma, then how we can re-establish the principles of dharma? Just like Prabhupada used to say, missing point is Krishna. So, you know, whenever we see Krishna, especially in Vrindavan, Krishna, there's not a day, there's not one single day that goes by where Krishna is not with his beloved cows, isn't it? I mean, most of the time he's with them. He spends the whole day going from one forest to another in Vrindavan, along with Balaram and so many cowherd boys, herding the cows, isn't it? And Krishna personally worships every single day Mother Cow. And in this way, Vrindavan is what Vrindavan is. It is a replica, isn't it, of the Chintamani Dham. It is a replica of Goloka Vrindavan. And our goal as Vaishnavas, as devotees, as followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is to go back to that world of Chintamani Dham, isn't it? Where we will have that great fortune. Two things. When we finally go back, and that's our aspiration, isn't it? To go back to the spiritual world. When we go back to the spiritual world, we will have the opportunity, this is explained by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to simultaneously experience the Krishna Lila and Gora Lila simultaneously, inconceivably. We will be living simultaneously in both Vrindavan and Navadvip. Now, whenever we go to India, we are in a dilemma. Should I go to Navadvip, Mayapur, or should I go to Vrindavan? And we have to make a choice. We can't go to both, isn't it? And they're quite far apart. So, but when we will go back to the spiritual world, in our transcendental spiritual body, we will, that's Krishna's mercy, we will, those who are followers of Lord Chaitanya have that special privilege and advantage. We will simultaneously live in both of these transcendental worlds of Navadvip Dham and Vrindavan Dham. So Vrindavan Dham, that dimension of go means cows, is most important. And so part of this 12-year campaign, we're beginning on January the 1st. A few of the temples that I'm visiting now, just before coming to the West Coast, I was visiting some of our centers on the east side, just like Gitanagari, New Vrindavan, and New Govardhan, not New Govardhan, New Talavan actually, and Alachua. Very important. Prabhupada, as we all know, wanted that these communities be developed and that our temples be connected with projects that are taking place where devotees are keeping cows, where devotees are growing their own food and offering such wholesome, pure products actually to the Lord and then to all the devotees. In this way we maintain a very healthy lifestyle and we are able to perform our devotional service nicely. Now, part of this campaign is, I'm just giving you a little preview of this because a lot of this will become more official within the next few weeks once we begin the campaign. But I wanted to share with you, a few small things, a few verses that in many ways summarize the theme that we are, discussing, and to help all of us also understand this more, we have a short video that we'll be showing. That's why the screen is there, and that's an approximately 8-minute video. Now, I forgot to ask one thing because we're starting. Normally, you start the program at a little bit on the late side today. I'm going to take one. Okay, thank you. Okay, here. So, so what I forgot to ask is, normally your program goes at what time? Don't tell me 10 o'clock, because tomorrow's a working day, isn't it? Yeah. Huh? 7:50 or 15? Huh? 15, okay. So is it? Okay. So we have an hour. That's fine. This logo is going to be our main logo, which is, in addition to this logo, for your information, we have what is called a logo booklet. There's a booklet, about 15, 20 pages, that explains the logo. Yeah. And of course, we can't do all of that, in one shot this evening, but I'm just mentioning that it is there. It will be available. As a matter of fact, it's already available because on Gopastami, which was the 31st of October this year, our ministry in India had the official launching of this logo for the ministry in India. And the ministry in India has the name of the ministry on the logo, IDVM. We've adjusted it a little bit to make it more global, and therefore we've selected Om, which is, of course, something very important, is a transcendental sound vibration, and we're connecting it with our mother cow. This principle is most important. This principle that we as individuals, we as families and as communities must gradually develop not only a theoretical understanding of our intimate connection with Mother Surabhi, but we should also be demonstrating that on a daily basis in our lives. A small example. In India now, more and more of our ISKCON temples who have goshalas or who have a land project, the devotees have learned to make, and I think some of these have already come here as well, this Panchagavya products. So in other words, it is much better to use natural soaps small example, to use natural soap for cleaning our body that will actually, that is full of medicinal value and that is made from natural products, especially using some cow dung, cow urine mixture, than to use the commercial soaps. This is one, there are many, many examples we can give in that respect. And so if we gradually, individually, and within our families, kind of begin this kind of transfer, transition. It's a kind of a transition, just like from this material world, we want to make a transition to the spiritual world, isn't it? And we all know that we have to gradually work at changing our consciousness. It's all a question of consciousness. So in the same way, this campaign is meant to help devotees to begin with, to gradually change, or increase and improve our consciousness, our awareness of this particular dimension, of material swadharma. Naturally, it is impossible for me to say everything I want to say. I'm going to try my best, and whatever time we have this evening, to point out some of the key elements or aspects that can help us understand why we need to do this. Why we need to do this. And we can do this not only if we are out in the country, we can do this also in the cities. At least that awareness we can develop, and there are a number of things that we can do. Although on the long run, the ideal, and because that's one of the fundamental themes of the Vedic culture as well. Vedic culture, I think you're all familiar, maybe the younger ones may be less familiar with the term agrarian. Who doesn't know what is agrarian? We have one honest person in the crowd. We have two. Okay, so that means if I ask anybody else, they should be able to give me the answer, right? Agrarian means connected with land. We say agrarian culture. Agrarian culture. Vedic culture, we should know, is primarily based upon and promoting agrarian culture. Agrarian culture means land and cows. Of course, Krishna. Yeah, land, cows, and Krishna. As opposed to, urban culture or industrialized culture as we know it today. So, part of our major problem, Prabhupada speaks about this amazingly quite a bit and quite strongly as well. As a matter of fact, I have to be careful sometimes, depending on the audience that is in front of me, how I explain this point about urbanization, because I don't want to offend anyone or convey the wrong meaning. But Srila Prabhupada had very strong words, made very powerful statements regarding the dangers of modern cities and the dangers of urbanization. Okay, we can chant Hare Krishna anywhere. We can transcend. However, at the same time, we should know, I think we already have some understanding, but Srila Prabhupada wanted to make this very clear that the present arrangement that we are seeing in modern day development, this is all over the world, is not conducive for spiritual life, isn't it? When Prabhupada came to New York, you'll all remember he wrote his nice poem explaining that, I'm coming to this, most degraded place where primarily the mode of passion and ignorance, everyone is caught up in the mode of passion and ignorance. That is, the condition of most cities around the world. So Vedic culture, of course, has cities, but they are not in the mode of ignorance and in the mode of passion. They are primarily directed toward the mode of goodness. So to support this theme, I want to bring up a very nice verse. As I mentioned, there are a number of verses in our Shastra that explain this theme. Let me see. And one small second. This is taken from, no. Thank you, but thank you. In Vedic culture, I mean, that's part of the Vedic culture, actually, to offer some assistance. But we stress a lot on self-sufficiency. So there's a danger of becoming overly dependent, although Vedic culture, one nice thing is that it teaches natural dependency. Here's a verse which maybe at some later time we can bring this up as well, but not right now. This is from the Hari Vamsa Parva. And I request everyone to hear this very attentively. Those who are from Indian background will recognize some of these words. And but I'll give the translation, of course, so that we can all follow. Here's the verse, number from chapter 55:31. Tratavya pratamam gava. Tratavya pratamam gava. Trata trayanti ta dvijan go brahmana paritranam jagat bhavet. So the translation is as follows. Pratam means first. First of all, cows should be protected. We were mentioning this point a little earlier. First of all, cows should be protected. Means the beginning of dharma, the basis of dharma, the foundation of dharma are cows, protection of cows. First of all, cows should be protected. Cows, thus protected, will in turn protect the brahmanas. There's a direct link between cows and brahmanas. If cows are protected, then the brahmanas can execute their duties, isn't it? And the last line, which is very important, whoops. Machines. I just lost it. Okay. Thus, when protection of cows and brahmanas is achieved, then the whole world is protected. Very short message, but very concise message and to the point. Means if we want the world to become a livable place, if we want the whole world to be functioning and operating nicely, if we want the whole world to be protected, then these two things need to be in place. The same message actually is given in different verses in the Bhagavatam, where Srila Prabhupada explains that there is a direct link between the cows Brahminical culture, and self-realization. Individuals within society, within communities, will only become successful in their life, will only be able to advance spiritually, will only be able to become self-realized if the Brahminical culture is in place, isn't it? Srila Prabhupada explains, Brahminical culture means where the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas are functional. That is called Daiva Varnasrama. Daiva Varnasrama, actually, previously we were not using the word so much Daiva. You know, it's like Varnasrama. But because, unfortunately, we are in Kali Yuga, since the time of Lord Buddha, that goes back, 2,500 years, the system, the natural system, the pure system that Krishna has given became polluted, isn't it? And that's one of the primary reasons why Lord Buddha rejected the Vedas, rejected the Vedic culture, because of misuse of the system of Varnasrama by the Brahmanas at that time. So therefore, for the last 2,500 years, can you imagine? That's a long time, right? For the last you can't imagine, because we don't live that long. For the last 2,500 years, we have a system that has been battered left and right, that has been abused, and therefore it's even difficult to talk about it, especially in India. As a matter of fact, in India, I was surprised to hear a few years ago, if you use certain words in the wrong context, you can be arrested. And I won't use any words so that in the wrong context to avoid being arrested. It means people have a distorted understanding and have very bad impression about the very concept of Varna and Ashrama. We as devotees, I would say our primary responsibility and duty is like, we need to have faith in our Shastra, we need to have faith in Guru. Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, Asrada dhana purusha dharmasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Asradha, there is Shraddha, faith, conviction in dharma, and there is the opposite, asraddha. So Krishna says those who are not convinced, those who are not faithful, then in regards to the principles of dharma, then they cannot succeed in life. So in other words, our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, naturally his whole life mission was to spread dharma, was to spread the principles of dharma, and Srila Prabhupada spoke very eloquently, as we know, and very profoundly in terms of these 2 dimensions of dharma, spiritual and material dimension. He spoke quite extensively, as I'm sure many of you are knowing, about Varnasrama dharma and its importance. So that link, we as devotees, even though it seems like it is actually difficult, very difficult, it's a tremendous challenge. I know personally, because even in certain circles or in certain contexts, to even discuss about the subject matter is not easy. So therefore, actually I would like to make this request that even though there's a lot of misunderstanding about, what is described in our Shastra as the most scientific system. Just like Bhakti is the science. Bhakti is the science of all sciences, isn't it? The science of devotional service. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the science of devotional service. Similarly, there is an eternal science in connection with Varna and Ashrama. Why? Because it's connected with the gunas. The gunas, the modes of material nature, they are connected with Prakriti. So those who have nicely studied Bhagavad Gita will know that out of 5 elements in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna speaks about, beginning with Ishvara, then Jiva, then Kala, then Prakriti, and the last one, Karma. The first 4 are eternal principles. Ishvara is eternal, God is eternal. Jiva, living entity, is eternal. Kala, eternal time, Krishna is eternal time. And Prakriti. Prakriti also eternal. Sometimes manifest, sometimes non-manifest, but eternal. If we understand that Prakriti is eternal, it means that the gunas, for those of us who are here in the material world, when we come in the material world, we have to deal eternally with these gunas. That's why we say, Nitya Baddha, eternally conditioned. So it means that Varnashrama Dharma is that eternal system that Krishna has in place for the conditioned souls in the material world. So it is to our, even though we are becoming devotees, we are not immediately on the Paramahamsa level, isn't it? So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, as long as we are somehow connected with the gunas, the modes of material nature, then this system of Varnasrama needs to be adopted or followed. And the essence of the basis, as we're trying to demonstrate and explain, it actually begins with cows. We were discussing this afternoon, actually, at the farm, why is it that there's such a close link and connection between brahmanas and cows? Why that link is there? Why do we say that they belong to the same family? Because both are in the mode of goodness. And spiritual life, unless we come to the mode of goodness, we cannot practice spiritual life. Because spiritual life is beyond ordinary goodness. So, in this way, especially these 2 literatures, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, speak, I would say, quite extensively regarding this concept of the importance of mother cow. Now, something I didn't share yet, which I would like to do right now, before we before we go to our documentary or yeah. As part of our campaign, we have 2 things. We have many things, but one is a prayer that we have composed. I'll read you the prayer. You have it? No, that's the mantra. Like I said, there are many things. There is actually a mantra. It's a good thing you mentioned it, because there is there is what is called a Surabhi mantra. It's like our Shastra, every page of the Shastra is full of mantras. So there is a Surabhi mantra. This will be part of our campaign. We can play it. We'll play it a little bit later. Okay, yeah. And we'll be happy to give you a copy of this Surabhi mantra so that you can have it in your home, and you can. I found it actually in a small booklet. Some of you may have read or may have it, called Sacred Cows. Has anyone read or seen this Sacred Cow? Yeah. So I forget exactly where, but within that small book, it explains about the 6 syllables of this Surabhi mantra. And it is, we could say, similar to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is actually very powerful. It describes how if one chants so many times this Surabhi mantra, then one gets so many benefits, just like when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In addition to the Surabhi mantra, we have two things that we want to share with you, and this will be available actually on our website beginning January the 1st, as I began to explain a little earlier. A lot of this information will be available, and devotees will be able to download, etc., like that. So this will give us a little glimpse of the importance of Mother Surabhi, and this is the prayer that I will just share with you right now. Yes. I thought we'd made some copies. Anyways, Sravanam is more, hearing is more important. If we pass out papers, it'll distract everyone. So we'll take just 2 minutes. It's a short prayer to Mother Surabhi. Just try to nicely take in the message or the messages that are being conveyed here. O Mother Surabhi, you are the mother of all cows. All cows actually originate from Mother Surabhi. You sustain all life and all living entities. You provide shelter to those who have no shelter. You fulfill all desires. Your very presence brings all auspiciousness. You are the source and basis of all wealth. You are pure, attractive, and aromatic. You bring one to the mode of goodness. You bring wealth, longevity, and good fortune. You are our universal mother. Without you, we will have no mothers. Without you, we will have no life. Without you, we will have no shelter. Without you, we will have no hope. Without you, we will have no happiness. Without you, we will have no food. Without you, we will have no direction. Without you, we will have no morality. Without you, we will have no health. Without you, we will become orphans. Please allow us to serve you. Please allow us to love you. Please allow us to worship you. Please allow us to be with you. Some of these are taken actually from various glorifications which are there in our Shastra. Our Acharyas very often make reference to Mother Cow. In our Shastra, there are many sections that concentrate on this whole dimension. It is easily understood when we know that the whole basis, isn't it? The whole basis of the Vedic culture begins with Mother Cow. And there is an oath that we invite devotees and communities to take. And I'll just read it. We won't make the actual oath. But this will be part of the campaign. And the idea is that just like when we come in contact with Krishna consciousness, then at one particular point, especially those who become more serious, we take an oath to chant so many rounds every day. And of course, especially at the moment of initiation, when one is firmly convinced that, yes, I will follow the guidelines, I will vow to chant 16 rounds every day, then one takes that oath of following the 4 principles, etc. This is the oath that will be taken, and again, some of this information, actually all of this information, we will be making available. This also is a glorification of Mother Cow, and you can just hear nicely, it's very short, and try to appreciate what is being conveyed here. The sacred oath to Mother Surabhi. O most worshipable Mother Surabhi, you are our most affectionate, sacred Mother. You are the wish-fulfilling Kamadhenu who grants everyone's desires. You are the manifestation of all sacred places of pilgrimage, the support of all living entities, and an ocean of all auspiciousness. O most revered Mother Surabhi, you are the purifying Mother Ganga. It is said that when cows drink water from wherever it may be, that water becomes as good as the Ganges. Wherever the cow resides, that place becomes like holy dham. So today we all went to the holy dham. You know, yeah. That's why in the Vedic culture, because everyone, practically speaking, everyone has cows in their home. So that means that everyone is living in the holy dham. It means everyone is living in the spiritual world. This point about auspiciousness, that's why we put it on our poster, is very important. The presence of even just one cow brings immediate auspiciousness in one's life. So that means that when we don't have cows in our life, it is inauspicious, isn't it? I'll just continue here. You are the purifying Mother Ganga and the goddess of sanctity. You are the healer of all diseases, the bestower of good health, and the embodiment of Maharshi Dhanvantari. The cow is a very unique animal that has everything, every part, every single part of the body of a cow is pure. And the cow, through especially its milk, is cow urine and cow dung, can purify and cure all kinds of diseases. I think many of you, especially because those who are coming from India, know about this Go-Ark, distilled cow urine. I was surprised actually when I came to know a few years ago how distilled cow urine, you get about maybe 70% of the original quantity. Let's say you have 1 gallon of cow urine, you distill it, you get 70%, that is distilled urine. That distilled urine, which is very powerful medicinally, sells more than the value of milk. It sells more than milk. Its value is more than that of milk. So in this way, that is being expressed here, how all diseases can actually be cured. You are the goddess of fortune and the provider of nourishing agriculture products. O most venerable Mother Surabhi, today I take this solemn oath to always remember the land of Bharatvarsha and our ancestors' noble heritage. which is Sanatana Dharma, Vedic culture. With my mind, words and actions, I hereby pledge to always protect, preserve, and serve you, and all the wonderful gifts of nature, such as water, earth, the forests. It's like we were there today, and you see signs. This particular farm we went to see, it mentions about these elements, right? The 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and how these are all representing Krishna. We should honor them, not abuse them, etc. So here, part of the pledge is to protect and preserve all of these gifts of nature, as well as all living entities and all sacred places of pilgrimage. I will actively strive to ensure that your glory spreads throughout the entire world. Just like our mission as devotees is to spread the glories of Dharma. Our mission as devotees is to spread the glories of Mother Surabhi as well. You see. O most honored Mother Surabhi, in order that our villages become holy places of pilgrimage, I will endeavor within my mind, body and soul to protect the ancient wealth and beauty of traditional village life. Now in the Western country, this may sound a little strange in the sense that we practically don't have any villages, in most Western countries. But again, if we understand how Vedic culture is primarily agrarian culture, and how Srila Prabhupada wanted that we establish farm communities are meant to be a stepping stone towards establishing, re-establishing, reviving villages. And we're just a few more short 2 paragraphs. O most beloved Mother Surabhi, please bless and empower this humble servant of yours with the necessary ability, strength, and courage to fulfill this solemn oath. All glories, all glories, all glories to you, O eternally most sacred Mother Surabhi. This was originally in Hindi. Jai Shri Sri Radha Madana Mohan Ki Jai. So we get a little glimpse of, it's not immediately completely obvious. There are many things we've not touched upon, but related to the main theme. And because we are just making one presentation here this evening, I would like to, before we show our video, we can get ready to show the video. Before we show the video, I'd like to encourage all of you to read about and discuss and share various instructions given by the founder Acharya of our society in regards to this dimension, or let's say of Dharma, of Sanatana Dharma. And part of our campaign will be to give a list of practical ways. I was mentioning about soap, for example. Soap is only one small example. There are many, many ways where we can begin to make that connection actually with Mother Surabhi. And for some of you, maybe one day, because that is a very wonderful, benediction that anyone can receive. And that is, our acharyas and sadhus, their business is to give benedictions, blessings, as we say. So one of the important blessings that one day all of us can have is that we can one day again be living on a daily basis with Mother Cow. That's some of us, definitely some of you who are here, by the mercy of the Lord, will one day be milking cows, on a daily basis, and in this way, pleasing Krishna very much, because as we try to explain, Of all the living entities, including Brahmanas, Krishna is most affectionate to his cows. How much time do we need for the thing to be ready? It's more or less ready? It is ready, yeah, okay. Okay, just 1 second. That was fast. The video, just very briefly, like within 1 minute, explain a little bit of the background. Video was made by one devotee from Australia, and basically they are short sentences. The title of the video, is it up there? Huh? Yes, what cows want. What is the devotee's name? That's a very good question. And you know what? I don't know. I'm trying to find out. When I'll find out, I'll tell your father. But I know he's from Australia, and we definitely have to find out his name. He's staying at New Govardhan. New Govardhan is a very big farm that we have, over 2,000 acres, and many cows. Yes? New Govardhan? New Govardhan is very similar to New Vrindavan, yes. Because New Vrindavan also is over 1,000, maybe 2,000 acres. Used to be bigger. You've been to New Vrindavan, but you've not been to New Govardhan, right? Yeah. May one day you be blessed to go to New Govardhan and see the cows they have there and meet the devotee who made this video. And then you can tell us his name. Well, hopefully by that time, before that, we'll find out his name. I've been in contact, actually, just to let you know. Somebody gave me this, shared this video maybe just a few months back, and I've been writing to a few devotees in Australia. I've been doing my homework to find out who that devotee is for different reasons. It's very nicely made. You can just, I was going to say sit back. Don't sit back too much. You can just sit up straight, relax, focus on, Sravanam, hearing is the most important. So the video, basically it is cows. Cows are speaking to us. Cows are giving us a message. Very powerful message. And there's a very attractive background music. Not only music, it's actually the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Very nicely, nice melody is there. And video needs to be improved a little bit, but it's as it is, it's still very potent, I would say, and I'm sure that I've seen it many times, and it's one of those videos that one doesn't get tired of seeing, actually. So some of you have seen it, but I'm sure you will appreciate seeing it again. And after this video, we'll have maybe a few minutes if there's any questions or comments or any announcements that may be there as well. And in this way, that should take us to 7:15, and we will respect the program's timing. Yeah. So we have sound also. Everything's in place. Okay. Let us begin. Not too loud and not too low. That's too low. Okay, it's coming. A little louder.
Hare
Jai Sri Prabhupada ki. Jai Gomata ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we have a few minutes for any questions, clarification, comments that might be there. Yes. Microphone? Yeah. Yes.
So one quick question. So in the Krishna's name is many Govinda, Gopal, and he loves cows with many pictures. But we have never seen any relations with Radharani's with Krishna go with the cows, because definitely Radharani says parrot and different gopis and all, but we never heard any pastimes, Radharani's special feelings or relationship towards cows. Do you have any insight?
You're wanting a pastime of Srimati Radharani with cows, is it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Well, of the two, of course, Krishna is the one who is having all of these names and therefore spends the major portion of his time in looking after cows, because that's, I can't think of any specific immediate pastime, but obviously because Srimati Radharani, like the other residents of Vrindavan, they are, of course, Srimati Radharani, along with many of the gopis in Vrindavan, every day they carry, as we know, the products of Gomata by distributing and exchanging various products made actually by the elderly ladies of Vrindavan. Every day they are preparing so many wonderful preparations and distributing and exchanging, and so maybe that connection is still there, but maybe on a different level or slightly different kinds of pastimes are there. We know how, without telling the whole story, but when Krishna was, of course, destroying various asuras, that Kamsa would be sending from Mathura, and then when Krishna destroyed the what's the name of that Aristasura, then Srimati Radharani, who started to preach to Krishna that you have made a great you're aparadi, you have made a great offense here, and so she naturally has the highest respect for cows, and it's not only the cowherd men, like in any village in India also. It's like Matajis are also very much involved in both both aspects of land and cows, in that during harvest time, for example, everyone in the village helps to harvest, and also many Matajis are, so I'm sure that many of the cowherd girls or cowherd women in Vrindavan were also connected with cows, milking cows and whatnot. But it's true, we don't hear so much of leelas or pastimes, and so I'm sure they are there. There are probably some literatures that deal more in detail with that. I don't have specific pastime as such specifically. If somebody has, it can share it possibly.
Thank you.
Yes. She requested Krishna?
To have a cow, to have a Surabhi.
Yes. It was, yeah, that's mentioned actually in the sacred book, upon the request of Srimati Radharani. So all the residents of Vrindavan have the greatest reverence and appreciation for cows, including Srimati Radharani. Yes.
Maharaj, I had a question on the video.
Yes.
Is it addressed to the devotees who are going vegan and not consuming milk products? Is that the correct understanding?
There is part of the video is directed towards those who are vegans, and it's the message would be the following. Actually, we were discussing this point a little earlier today as well. Actually, more and more people are becoming vegan. In one sense, it is very good because it means that more and more people are concerned about the state of affairs with animals, how we mistreat and abuse and cause all kinds of suffering to different animals, including the cows. So we very much respect and sympathize with those who, similar to us, feel very disturbed about such state of affairs. However, our approach in dealing with the problem is that we endeavor in different ways to give the proper care and protection to cows by developing communities where the foundation of such communities is very much, based on what the Bhagavad Gita teaches, Krishi Goraksha Vanijam, Krishi, agriculture, natural Vedic agriculture, without the use of chemical fertilizers and chemical pesticides and machines, etc., like that. And then Goraksha, protection of cows. However, this is the main message here. The cows are explaining us in the video that we, as cows, primarily are meant to serve Govinda. We are meant, you probably recall one of the sentences or statement, we are meant for Jagya. We are meant for Jagya. Jagya means that the whole Vedic culture is based on Jagya. The whole message of Bhagavad Gita is that we must, in the human form of life, perform Jagya. When we withdraw or take away that privilege for the cows to perform Jagya, see the benefit Jagya means, Jagya cannot be performed without ghee. Jagya cannot be performed without grains. Grains and ghee come about or are given by the cows. Cows and bullocks. The bullocks cultivate the land, produce the grains, and the cows produce the milk. The cows produce so much milk actually that the calf cannot drink all that milk. If the calf is allowed to drink unlimited milk, he will generally drink more and become sick. So our whole Vedic culture is based on the value of milk in terms of, let's say, the material value of milk in terms of being wholesome and being accepted and described as the perfect food. And when the cows are protected, the more we reciprocate in loving exchanges with the cows will give a greater abundance of milk. That is their dharma. Their dharma is to give milk, and their dharma is that milk is utilized for yajna, isn't it? Especially ghee. So we were making the point, just to finish here, that in the Vedic culture, especially two, we could say, individuals or two occupations within the Vedic culture can only be performed by the use of ghee. Means the brahmanas. The brahmanas, in order to do their yajna, their samskara, in order to establish deities, to install deities, you cannot do it without ghee, without panchagavya product, isn't it? We cannot, no one here who's initiated could be initiated without yajna. We would be in a sore state. So the whole Vedic culture is very much dependent on cows. That's a very main important dimension. So therefore, this is a very important. If we fully support those who are vegans in terms of their concern for the abuse against all animals, and especially the cow, because of her very special and unique value in society. The cow of all the animals is the most important because of yajna, actually, and because she is, as we explained a little earlier, everything about the cow is totally pure. Many things to be said, actually, in that respect. So, message that is being conveyed here is that part of the importance of the cow is that she be given and allowed to perform her essential dharma of being closely connected with Govinda in that dimension, or in that aspect of fire oblation, yajna, which can only be done by ghee, purified ghee. One last question or comment coming up here, and we have a microphone to help. Yes.
Did you see that devotee?
If you don't know his name, did you see that? That's the question. Did you see the devotee? I did not see the devotee. I saw his video. And one day, if Krishna is merciful to me, and I'm sure he will be, I will see the devotee, or at least get to know his name. And I'll let you know, okay? I promise.
Did you ever see him on the video or something?
If I ever saw, that's your last question, by the way. Take the mic away from him. Before he thinks about
Then
it.
how do you know him?
Now this is we should be inquisitive, right? Tadvidi pranipatina pariprashnena sevaya. So I know him because his friend, one of his friends, sent me his video. And I know his name. His name is Krishna, who's in Australia, and he will send me his name very soon, and I will let you know. Okay. I hope that said it. So once again, thank you very much for being a very attentive audience. Hare Krishna. All glories to the devotees in San Jose. Kindly continue nicely in your devotional service, and especially in your book distribution marathon, which is one of many reasons why devotees here are famous all over the world. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Samasta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. And somebody else has a microphone probably to say a few things.